Hello everyone, welcome to Zoho Creator Learning Table Series. To say about Learning Table Series, this is a month-on-month session which is held at the first Thursday of the month. So in this series, we usually take an industry, discuss about all the automations needed for that particular industry, and also we will talk about how to make Creator as a solution in order to provide that automation. So in that flow, this month we are going to talk about real estate industry. So how Zoho Creator can fit in into this particular industry is going to be topic of the day. So before I go move on into the session, let me introduce myself. This is me Preeti Venkatesh and I'm going to be the trainer of today's session. And also, these are going to be the housekeeping rules. All the attendees in the session will be on mute, and please post your questions in the question tab, which is available in the left corner of your screen. A recording of the session will be sent to all the registrants. Please participate in the polls and the surveys that are going to be conducted during or after the session. So, and again, I'm saying that please post your questions in the question tab. My co-trainer will be answering those questions in the meantime. And also, I have an interesting announcement to make quiz contest. So, we'll be conducting the quiz at the end of the session about this demonstration that we are going to showcase in today's session. And top 5 winners of the quiz will be awarded with 25% discount on our online training workshop. So please be attentive in the session so that it will be easy for you people to achieve this 25% discount. So now let's move on into the actual part of the session agenda. So in this part, we will be discussing about first the introduction. That is, there might be some new people to Zoho Creator available here. So I'll be talking about what is Zoho Creator and what it can do in the first part, and also about the real estate industry that we took. In the second part, we will be discussing in detail about construction management. That is, what is the general process or automations needed for this construction management, and how we are going to create an application with the help of Creator in order to provide that automation will be discussed in the application process flow. And also we'll be talking about features that are used to make the application look enhanced, and we will discuss about the live demo of the application and also the extended use cases, and finally we'll summarize and wrap the session up. So this is going to be the agenda which we are going to follow throughout the session. So now let's move on into the actual part of the session, introduction. So Zoho Creator is, when I talk about Zoho Creator, it's a low-code application building platform that helps us to build customized application that matches our business requirements. So Creator is not only application building platform, but it's a combination of application development, analytics, seamless integration process automations. Everything can be done on a single platform. So it helps us to streamline the productivity of our business in a more enhanced way. So on the right side, you can see a picture that is available that says that how Creator can fit in into different industries. So Creator can be made as a solution to provide automation in different types of industries. So in order to show how it fits in into the real estate industry, we are going to see that in today's section. So when I talk about real estate, it involves so many processes like doing the construction process, buying, selling, or renting a property, or maintaining a property on behalf of a owner. So all these process comes under a single term, real estate industry. So this real estate industry properties are categorized into different types. One is going to be a residential property or commercial property or an industrial property. Whatever it is, whatever category it is, those things comes under the single term real estate. So this real estate industry performs or contains major operations like construction management, where providing the automation provides the construction builders to make their work more easier. And then sales and marketing after construction, advertisements, making advertisements, doing marketings, providing customer services, sales. So providing automations in that operation plays a major role. And at last is the property management or property maintenance, like building an interior decoration, or maintaining a property, rental property. So all these kind of things comes under the operation property management. So these three are going to be the major operations that is involved in the real estate industry. So why I'm talking about this now? So we are going to take one of the major operation, that is construction management, in detail, and discuss about how Creator can help automate construction management operation. So that is going to be the next topic. So what is the general process involved in this real estate construction management? So let's talk about the construction management from the builder's perspective. That is, when I talk about construction, we can segregate that into three different stages. The first stage is going to be the pre-construction stage. Second is during the construction, and at last post-construction stage. These boxes indicates them. So in the first pre-construction stages, there are certain set of actions needs to be done by a builder. So first is designing the project and the estimated budget for a particular project. And next is going to be like showcasing the client about the designs we have and quote the budget to them, and the client will select the design according to their preferences. Once the design is selected, a contract will be signed between the builder and the project and the client. So these things happens in the pre-construction mode or pre-construction stage. When I talk about the second stage, once the contract is signed, we will be creating a project for a particular client. So if we are a big a builder based or construction based company, we will take so many projects at a time. So we will assign a particular project to a particular manager, project manager. So now it's the duty of the project manager to take over all the construction process. So the project manager has to do certain things like, first they have to purchase the materials required for the construction, and second is going to be the task and the labor management. Like they have to segregate the project into different tasks and recruit the laborers or subcontractors and assign the task to them. So these things comes under the during the construction process, and the construction goes on very well by with the help of project managers monitoring. So once the construction is completed, next step is going to be the budget. So we would have quoted the project manager or the builder would have quoted a budget to the client during the contract signing. It's the duty of the project manager to maintain a balanced budget and the expense with the help of this budget and expense tracker module. So after everything is kept on track, next comes the quality inspection, and once it is done, the project will get handover to the client. So this is going to be the basic process that is involved in a construction management business. So now how Creator can help in automation, providing automation to this process. So that's what we are going to discuss in this application process flow. So before we discuss about the application process flow, let me give you a quick overview about what are the application categories Zoho Creator applications fall into. So Zoho Creator all the applications that we build on Zoho Creator falls under either one of the four categories or a combination of all these categories. So these four categories includes, first is the internal tool. When we are building an application with Zoho Creator for the internal organization purpose, like within an organization or within a team, I want to build an application and use. So those kind of application comes under the internal tool. And second is the portal based application. So like for example, let's take a vendor management. So in the vendor management, obviously we'll maintain the vendor details and we'll give an external user access of our application to the vendors so that it will be easy for us to make the purchase orders and the quotations. So there comes the portal based application category. And next is the core system, that is building a entire business operations in a single application. Like when I talk about single application, having construction management, property maintenance, everything under a single creator application, then that application comes under the core system category. And at last is going to be extended Zoho or third-party application. When I'm trying to integrate my creator application with any other third-party services to fetch and pull, to push and pull the data, then those kind of application comes under the category extended Zoho or third-party applications. So whatever application we build on Zoho Creator falls under any of the four categories. So in that flow, for today's session, we took the construction management as an internal tool, that is within an organization or within a builder's place, how this application is going to help them. So before I show you the exact flow, let me first explain you the modules that are used to build this construction management application. So we have divided this construction management into four different modules. The first module is going to be the client and the design selection. So here, once the client comes in contact with our company, so we will just collect the basic and the project informations about the from the client along with their design preferences. According to that, we will showcase them the design, and the client will select the design, and the contract signing process will happen. So all these process will be monitored in this module. We will be storing all the status of the client from onboarding till contract signing in this first module, client and the design selection. And second module is going to be task and the labor management. So once the client has selected the design, the next thing is that we have to segregate them into tasks like carpentry work or flooring work, roofing work. So we have to segregate them into the task. And for each and every task, we will recruit a labor and we will assign the task to them. So that will be monitored with the help of the second module, task and the labor management. And third module is the material purchase. So in order to start the construction, obviously we need the materials like bricks or cement or concrete. So whatever it is to purchase and then start the construction work. So here we will not do the exact purchase, but we will store the materials that is purchased for a single project in order for the builders to or project managers to keep a track of the expenses spent on this material purchase. And at last, final module is going to be the budget and the expense tracker. The project manager will keep a track of the budget quoted and the expense that is spent on the labor payment and the material cost. So these are the four different modules that is involved in my construction management application as an internal tool. Let me give you in detail about each and every module so that we will have a clear idea about what is going to happen in the live demo. So first module, client and the design selection. So first thing, when a client arrives, we will just collect all the basic information, design preferences, design requirements, everything from the client and store it in the client module. So once the design requirement is received, we will just check whether this design is already available in any of our predefined designs. So if a design requirement matches my predefined design, next I'll just quote the budget to the client and the contract signing will happen. So let's say that the the design is not available in the predefined designs, then the project manager has to assign a designer to create a design and then quote the budget to the client. And once it is done, the contract will get signed. So once the contract signing process is done, we will create a project under the project module against this particular client. So from here, we are going to call this design as projects. So this is going to happen in the client and the design selection module. And next module is the labor and the task management. Once the design is finalized, we are just adding it to the project module. From the project module, the builders will just assign a project manager to each and every project. So it is the duty of the project manager to create the task list needed for the particular project and to collect the labor details who can suit the task. And at last, they will assign the task to the laborers. So this is going to happen in this task and the labor management module. And next module is going to be material purchase. Once the task is assigned to the laborers, we need the materials in order to start processing the construction work. So here comes the material purchase. Here, all the materials purchased from the vendors or the suppliers will be stored for the expense tracking purpose. So this is going to be done in this material purchase module. And last module is going to be budget and the expense module. So once the task is assigned and the materials are purchased, the project manager has to keep a track of what is the labor payment, cost of the labor payments made, and cost of the materials that has been purchased against a particular project. All these things should be noted somewhere in order to keep in track of the expenses made, to keep in track of what is the project, how whether it's going over budget or under the budget. This will be done in this particular module, budget and the expense tracker. So I think I have set a clear example or idea about what we can expect in the live demo. Okay, so before I move on into the live demo, let me also give you some feature updates. I mean, let me also give you some features that are used in the application in order to make it look enhanced. There are certain features on Zoho Creator that are used in the application that we are going to see. The first feature is going to be form workflow. In order to do, since we are going to maintain all the expense tracker and the budget versus expense tracker module, we have to do all the calculations in an automated way. So in order to do the calculations, in order to assign the task to each and every labor according to their skill set, so these kind of automations are done with form workflows. And next is the report workflows. So here we are doing the payment works, keeping a track of the expenses. So all these kind of small payment works are done with the help of report workflows. We also call this as the custom actions that is written on the reports interface. So next, third feature is going to be the blueprint. So as I said before, we are going to see this construction management as an internal tool. We are not going to communicate with the application with the help of the application with the clients. Instead, we are going to manually monitor the client's onboarding process with the help of this blueprint. From design requirement till contract signing, everything will be managed with the help of blueprint workflow. We'll see in detail about what is blueprint as well. And at last is the user access. So see here, we have the designers, we have project managers. We will give them the user access, internal user access permission for them to use the application to record all the data that is required in a construction or a project. So these are the features, the highlighting features that are used in the application to enhance it. So if you have any queries till now, you can just post it in the question tab. My co-trainer will be happy to answer it. So now let's move on into the live demonstration of the application. So this is going to be Zoho Creator's main dashboard. In that, now we are talking about this application, Zilker Construction Management. So I just named it as Zilker Construction Management. So before I talk about the application, let me give you the gesture about what are the forms and the modules available in this application. So the first one is project design. So as I said before, we will be having a predefined designs so that it will save the time for us to show it to the client and make him select it. And those design informations along with the floor plan will be captured in this form or module. And next is the client details. So once a client contact us, we will just get all their general information, still the budgeting information, and those informations will be available over here. So in this is the place where the onboarding till contract signing process will take place. You'll see in detail now. And next is once the contract signing is done in this part, we will just add that particular client's requirements as a project into this project module. From this project module, we will be assigning it to the project manager in order to process it further. So this all the project informations will be available in this module. And as I said before, since we are going to provide user access to our staffs or project managers, we need a module to store the information about all the staffs that are working under our company. So here I'll be having all the staff informations like the project managers information, designers information, or if you have any subcontractors, those information also will be stored in this particular module. And next is the labor details module, where I'll be having all the labor's information along with their skill set and their availability, and also the amount they are going to get for a particular hour. And next is the task. Now we have the project and then we have the labors. So the project manager will assign the task to each and every labor who are available, and material purchase module and the budget and the expense module. So these are the things that are available in the application that we are going to see now. Now let's start from the first one, project design. So in this project design, let me try to add a new design and show you. So these are going to be the predefined designs that will be designed by my designers. So I'll be giving a design's name, like let's say that's a 3 BHK apartment, plan 2, and overview, like the requirements that are used to build this particular module will be available over here. Car parking along with modern interior. So all the detailed informations will be given in this design overview, and in this we can add the 3D picture or floor plan layout of a particular model. So I'm just adding a sample model, and then this particular model will fit in into 1200 square feet of area, and the estimated budget is around, let's say, like 80 lakhs. 80 lakhs, and the timeline to complete this particular project is, let's say, 6 months. So this is going to be the predefined module which I'm going to store in my project design module place. So this is what we are going to store over here. And next is the client information. Let's say a client is getting approaching us in order for him to build a residential place, that is an apartment or a villa. So let me add a data for that. In this module, I'm collecting, segregating the client information into different sections. Like the first section involves the client's basic information like name, email, phone number, and address. In the second section, the project location informations like the place where we are going to do the construction and the area in square feet. Project type, that is, it's a residential or commercial or industrial project, what type of project we are going to do, and the design preferences like they need the modern roofing or modern kitchen. So those type of design preferences will be added over here. The quoted budget, I mean their maximum budget, project timeline, everything will be captured over here. Now let me try to add a sample entry and show you how it works. Let me try to add a sample entry. This address. This is going to be the residential location, and this is going to be the actual project location. India, and the square feet they have is 1200 square feet. And the project type, as I said before, they need the residential project type, and they can give their preferences. We will be storing all the design preferences or design requirements given by the client in this particular field, like 3 BHK villa, 3 bedroom. We can give it over here. I'm just giving some sample entries. And then the budget they are going to quote is around 80 lakh, and the date is, they wanted the project to get started from April 1st, and they need to complete it in around 6 months of time, that is August. Once I click on the submit button, the project will get added over here. Now in this module you can get to see there are different types of project available, like residential, commercial, or industrial. So we are just talking about the residential project alone. Now this is going to be same for the commercial and the other thing. Now you can get to see the color changes in the different status. In this one project is design is finalized, but we have to start the project, and one they have this particular person has requested for a new design, and these three projects are in progress. These two projects are in progress, and one project is contract is signed, we need to start the project. And this is the newly added project. So we are going to monitor the entire onboarding process of the client from registering till contract signing, design selection, contract signing, everything with the help of blueprint. So before I talk about this, let me show you the blueprint that is written behind it. For that, I have to go to the edit mode of my application. Under workflow, I have blueprint. This is the place the blueprint has been written. So this is the blueprint of the particular application. So in this application, once the client has entered into our application, we will just get the requirements, design requirements as we did in the previous form. So once according to the design requirements, we will check manually whether the design is available in the predefined design module. If it is available, we'll finalize the design and initiate the contract signing. Once the contract is signed, we will just add the project, add it into the project module, and the project will get started. So let's say that design requirement is not matching the predefined designs, then we have to assign a new designer, complete the design, and then finalize, sign the contract, and other process will take place. So this is how we are managing the client design selection process till the starting of the construction. So this is the place where I can do that. So let's say like this requirement matches our newly added project design. So I'm going to say that I have a predefined design. So I can just simply click on it. The status will be changed as design has been finalized. So once the design is finalized, the next step is going to be like contract signing. So the contract signing process also, in this case, I'm doing it manually. I'm just noting it down whether the contract has been signed or not with the help of this blueprint stage. The contract is signed. Once the contract is signed, we'll be adding the design requirements as a project into the project module. So this is going to be the project module where I can get to see the client's information, design information, and the project status. So since the contract has been signed, we can upload the contract into this project details module. So I'm just uploading a sample contract, and we have to select the design that has been selected by the client. So I'll choose the project design as he was asking about 3 BHK villa plan. So I'm just, let's say that I'm going to choose this plan. And once the plan is selected, we will be assigning a project manager as well. I'll talk about where we are storing this project manager soon. So I'm just choosing the project manager. So once I click on the submit button, this details will get added into my project details module. Also, I'll just give my project manager's name in this place as well. So I'm choosing a manager named as Jessica Matthew, for whom I have already given the internal user access, so it'll be easy for us to see that. So this is the place where we can get to see all the project informations. So once I click on it, I can get to see the detailed view about the project, like the client information, design selected, project status, and the manager's information. So now in the staff's information, as I said before, we are storing the staff details, like the staff role is display picture. Let me add a designer is display picture. Let me give a name to him. His address. So this is how we are adding the staff's information over here. So every time I'm assigning a project manager for this particular project, only the project manager's details will get populated in that particular project details module. So now you can see someone called as Jessica Matthew. For this person, I have already given the user access. So let me show you how to give the user access before I show you how this person's application will look like. So let me go to the main dashboard of Zoho Creator. In this, we have something called users. So this is the place where we had the users, internal users of our application. So I have already added a user for our application. Like for the Zilker construction management, I have added this particular person as a manager. So now, once we have added this person as a user, he will get an email notification for accessing the application. This is how the application platform will look like for this internal user project manager. So you can get to see all the projects that has been assigned to him, task he has been assigned to, the labors, materials that is purchased against a single project, and the project expenses. So these are the things we have given this project managers to view and edit it. So this is how we are giving the user access. A detailed documentation on how to give this user access will be shared in the chat by my co-trainer. You can refer to that as well. So now this is how we are adding the stuff and then we are giving the user access to them. And next comes the labor information. As an admin, I can just upload all the labor informations that I am recruiting for a particular skill set. So let me show you that. So in this labor information, we have the labor's basic details, projects that has been assigned to him and the payments that has been done to him and the payment status. So let me try to add a labor first. Let me try to add a labor called as Kumar. His phone number, his address, and skills. So as I said before, we have a separate master module where all the construction required skills are just stored previously. I'm just looking up into that particular form. So here I can just choose what type of skill this particular person has. Like he can do exterior finishing or he can do the um, interior finishing as well and plumbing installation as well. So these are the skills this particular person has. So whenever I need a requirement of a labor for fulfilling these particular skills, I can just assign the task to them. And his availability is a part-time worker and he just gets 500 rupees INR per hour of work. So, and the assigned project details and payment details we will not be adding now. Once a project is assigned, automatically those details will get populated over here. I'll show you how it works. So this is how we are adding a labor and storing all the labor informations available over here. Their hourly rate, skills, and the availability. So everything will be stored over here. Next, let's navigate into the user's perspective, that is my project manager. From my project management manager's application or view, I can just assign the task to each of my labors. I can purchase the materials and also I can just uh, manage all my project and the budget expenses. So before adding the project expense, first I need to check the project's budget. This is the newly added project. The budget is going to be around some around 7,50,000 INR. There is no expense made yet, no variance. There is no variance now yet, and the budget status is on track. And once I click on the submit button, the budget will get added. But whenever I make a labor payment or a material purchase, the expense will get automatically added over here. We will see that as well now. Now let's move on again back into the task management module. So let me assign a task for my project, that is newly added project, and the task name I want to do exterior finishing. So just now we added a labor with the skill set exterior finishing. So I'm just adding it and they have to start working from 30th of March until 2nd of April, that is 2 to 3 days of work. And in the subform, I can assign more than one labor for a particular task. So here, if you notice that I have so many labors, but only one labor has the skill exterior finishing. So I'm just only that person's name is getting populated over here. This is done with the help of something called as dynamic pick list. So I'm just choosing that person and he is going to work for around 50 hours. Automatically, the amount will get calculated because we have already defined the hourly rate of this particular person and it is getting calculated. This is done with the help of form workflows. Now let's say the work is still pending. So once I click on the submit button, the task will get added into my application. So now the payment option is not enabled yet. Once the particular work is completed, let's say that this person has completed the work, then the payment will get opened. So when I click on it, I can get to see the detailed view of this particular report as well. That is the project information, task information, labor assigned, and then the project details. Everything is available over here. And also, whenever I add a project in my project, I mean labor's detail view as well, he can get to see or we can get to see the projects that has been assigned against a particular labor, that is project details, start date, end date, and the hours work. Once the payment is done, the amount paid and the payment status as well will get captured in this particular place. Now let me show you how it is working. So once I click on the payment button, let's say that payment has been made manually. So once I click on the payment button, the status will get changed as paid over here. So once I click on the payment button, the status will get changed as paid over here. And also when I just click on the detailed view of a particular labor, I can get to see the date of payment, amount paid, and the payment status as well over here. So these things also will get automatically done. So this payment button is called as the report workflow. So also called as the custom action. On click of a button, I'm just trying to do some action over here. So this is how we are managing the payment. And also one more thing to be noted, we have made an expense for this project number 7. So if I go to the project expenses, also again, I can get to see the expense that is made on 7th for the labor. I gave an amount of 25,000. So that will get reflected in this particular detailed expense module. And next thing, whenever a project manager tries to purchase a material against a particular project, so let's say for the same project number 7, this person is trying to purchase RMC and the quantity around 900 and supplier name. I'm just storing the materials that has been purchased or used, and the delivery status is delivered, but the payment is pending. So once I click on the submit button, if the delivery status is delivered and the payment is pending, the payment button will get enabled. So once I click on this particular button, again the status will get changed, and this expense will get added into my project expense module as well. So this is also done with something called as report workflow. So now if I go to my project expense module, I can get to see the expense that is made against the material and the amount. So this is how we are managing the task, material purchase, and the project expense within the internal team. And also the status of the budget also is available over here. And from the admin's view also, I can get to see all the project managers tasks that has been assigned, payments made, and budget and the expenses that they are monitoring. From my admin's view as well, I can get to see all the informations. And in the reference part, we have the task list. As I said before, we have a set of skills that we are just assigning it to the labors. These are predefined set of skills that a construction management needs, sample skills. So we are just looking up into these skills in the labor details module. So this is all about the application I wanted to showcase you today. And also we have the dashboard. Dashboard is the major KPI that helps us to see the entire count of things that we have in our application. Like we can get to see the project in progress, hold, labors information, and a map view of all the projects that our Zilka construction management is undergoing, and a bar chart about the budget and the expense tracker. Now we can get to see this yellow line indicates the budget is on track, and this red line indicates the budget is over budget. And we can just contact the manager regarding these things. And a detailed chart view about the budget versus the expense according to the projects we took. So apart from that, we can add some more KPIs that we wanted the admin to see on a single view. That is happening in this dashboard part. So this is all about the application that I wanted to showcase you today. So now let's talk about how we can extend this application. We saw this application as an internal tool. Now let's imagine this application as a portal-based application. Like we have a client, we are just monitoring the entire client onboarding process till contract signing with the help of a blueprint process manually. But instead, we can build a portal and we can provide the portal access to the client. And the client can select the design we are showcasing, and the client can give their preferences from the portal. So it will be easy for us to get in touch with or communicate with the client more frequently. And next, labor or subcontractor. So we are assigning the task, we are providing the payments. So we are just doing it manually and recording it in our application. Instead, we can give the portal access to the labor or the subcontractors to manage the task and the payments received. So this will also help us to do the communication in a more easier way. And next is the suppliers or vendor portal. So here we are not doing any purchase orders module. Instead, we are just storing the materials purchased for the expense tracking purpose. But instead, we can just build a portal for the vendors, and we can just do the purchase orders, procurements, quotations, negotiation, everything in that portal that we are going to assign to the suppliers. So these are the things that we can enhance in the application with as a portal-based application. And next, let's consider the same construction management as a core system that is involving more than one business operations in a single application. So first is Sales and marketing. So providing the sales and the providing ads about the building constructions that we are making, and monitoring the KPIs in a single module of an application can be done with the sales and the marketing. And next is customized inventory. So here we are having a material purchase module, an equipments renting module. I can just elaborate it, and I can pre-purchase and keep it and supply it to each and every project locations before construction start. I can do that as a big module. And next is vendor management. So I can just simply tie up a contract with all my suppliers and vendors to supply the products on a timely manner, and I can make the payment in a yearly manner or annual manner. So those kind of vendor management process can be done in a single application. And then quality control and safety and documents and compliance. So if I just try to build a whole application for construction management with all these process, then it comes under the core system category. And next is extended Zoho application. So let's say the construction management as well an extended application with other integrating it with other Zoho products or other third-party applications. So here we are performing a contract signing module. Like we are, as I said before, we are doing it manually and uploading the contract in a form of field. So instead, we can use the Zoho sign to digitize this contract signing module as well. So this is one of the extension that we can make. And next is Zoho inventory. We can manage a whole purchase order, sales order of the materials, vendors, everything in a single place, Zoho inventory, and we can use that data into a Zoho Creator to process it further for the task management or labor management and everything. And next is the Zoho expenses. I can use Zoho expenses to manage my expense and the budget, and I can store the information in the Zoho Creator as well. So this is how we can consider construction management as an extended Zoho application category. So this is how we can extend the same use case that we saw in today's demo. And if you have any questions regarding the demonstration, you can always ask it in the question tab. I think by this we came to the end of the session. Let me quickly summarize the session before I move on into the next part. So in this particular session, we saw few highlighting points to be remembered. Like first is the form workflows. So form workflows are the triggered actions that happens on a form's activity. So here I use the form workflows to add a record from one form into another form subform. Like in the labor one, whenever I assign a task, in the labor's form, the task has been reflected. Again, we saw about the blueprint. Blueprint is nothing but a visual representation of an entire business process. Here we use the blueprint process to monitor the entire process flow from onboarding of the client till contract signing of the client in a single form report itself. And then we use the report workflow. This is nothing but an button, custom action button that is written on the report interface. So here we use the report workflows to do all my payments like labor payment, material payment, and also behind this action, we have just pushed the data from one form to the another form. So this is report workflow. And also we saw something called user. We have added our designers or the project managers as the user of our application so that they can access the data and do some changes in our application for the project that has been assigned to them. So these are the few pointers to be remembered or noted in the application that made our application work in an enhanced way. So by this we came to the end of the session. So we have few upcoming sessions as well coming up. Create a Tech Connect series. So Create a Tech Connect series is again a month-on-month session which is held in the following month of the Learning Table series. For this month, we are going to talk about widgets and extensions in Zoho Creator. This is completely a technical session, covers all the technical nuances of Zoho Creator. This is going to be held at March 14th. You can use this QR code, or my co-trainer will be sharing the link in the chat. You can use that as well to register for the session. This is a recurring session. And also for the next month Learning Table series, we are going to talk about another interesting industry, Creator for Logistics. This is going to be held on April 4th. You can scan the QR code to register, or you can use the link that is available in the chat to register yourself. Apart from that, we have a very interesting session, Application Development Bootcamp. So here we will be talking about building an application from base till deployment in a step-by-step manner. This session is going to be held from March 19 to 21st, 1 hour each day, 4 p.m. IST. So do you make yourself register for the session and learn to build application along with us. The registration link for this as well will be shared in the chat. You can use that as well to register for the session. Now comes the major part, quiz time. So as I said in the starting, we will be conducting a quiz at the end regarding the demo we showed, and the top 5 contestants will be awarded with 25% discount on the online training workshop. So now it's the time. I'll be displaying the questions in the presentation. Please go through the questions and provide your options as an answer in the chat box. The top 5 people answering the questions will be rewarded with this 25% discount. So now I'm going to show the first question. The demonstrated application falls under which application category? Core system, option B, portal based application, option C is internal tool, or option D, extended Zoho or third party application category. So the demo application falls into which application category? Please post your answer in the chat box. Hope we are receiving the answers. So now I'm just moving on to the second question. So second question is, what kind of user access is given to the project managers? Either he is an internal user or he is an external user. So what kind of user access is assigned to the project managers? Post your answers in the chat box. Hope the answer has been given. Thank you everyone for joining the session. We'll meet again in the next month with the next new industries. So meanwhile, if you have any questions, please write to training@zohocreator.com. We're happy to help. And the winner of the quiz will be we'll be getting in touch with all the winners. Thank you.